This week's episode of Wide-Eyed Adventures, we troubleshoot some foul-smelling heads, end up in jail, and set sail on our first main voyage.
Oh, okay. One of our first little GoPro segments, we found our dream boat, and it's unbelievable. I mean, it's perfect, but it's used. And there's always a couple little things. It's got a little leaky window, we'll fix that later, but one of the things we noticed right away is the heads, while clean, stink. I guess they had stuff in them for a couple of months. Here you can see all that wonderful stuff that's stuck. It's probably where our smell's coming from, I think. And we've tried a few things and it's getting better, but it's not perfect yet. So we're gonna do a little experiment. This is head-o-matic shock treat. You can use it in the beginning or in the middle of the year, use a bit more. We're gonna try this. We're gonna try different stuff in each toilet. All of it's environmentally friendly, but we really need to get rid of this smell, and we're hoping. So we got 2 bottles of this just in case, 28 bucks a bottle. Whatever. Welcome to Canada. This is something I think is different than what I've seen from Aquatech before. Thetford. This stuff, Aquamax 3, Aquamax. It's holding tank treatment, but it uses a couple of different enzymes. So instead of just trying to cover it up, 8 ounces per 40 gallons. Each of our tanks is actually about 20 gallons, or a little bit smaller, pretty small tanks on a 48-foot Beneteau, but it's a probiotic enzyme or a probiotic, and it's septic safe, and it basically consumes everything that's in your toilet, and it's supposed to get rid of the odors in the pipes and the tank. So we're going to try that stuff, and then we're also going to try, maybe not at the same time, but Captain Fab, which we've tried some other Captain Fab products we really liked. This is another holding tank treatment, septic safe, in a powdery form. Now, head-o-matic has a very similar pellet that is not the same as this. So this stuff again is another, I believe, probiotic. So it speeds up the natural process with good aerobic bacterial action and oxygenation, preventing the bad anaerobic bacteria, the stuff that smells, the sulfur. So it also breaks down in the waste tissue. So your waste and your tissue, because you gotta use a little bit of tissue. Some people use bags. It also lubricates the valves and prevents clogging. So we're curious. This might be our long-term solution once we get the smell under control. But for now, again, because this stuff, unlimited shelf life, we don't worry about it expiring later down the road. So, 3 things we are going to try today. We also have head-o-matic little pucks that go inside a system, but they aren't being sold anymore. They automatically distribute whatever that chemical is, but my understanding is you should never really mix chemicals, so know what you're adding. None of them have formaldehyde, all environmentally friendly, which I think are federal regulations these days, at least in Canada. You know how it goes. So here we go. And one cool thing about these Beneteaus is you can take a peek at the holding tank right back here. Again, everything looks very clean. There's no mold, there's no mildew, but it stinks a bit like stale pee. So, in the aft head, we're gonna try a full bottle of this shock treatment. And you gotta let it sit at least 72 hours, but you're supposed to use the holding tank while you do it. And add your normal chem. So we will add some of that Aquatech stuff. So this stuff is designed to get rid of the waste coatings, the stuff that becomes stuck to the side and plastered, all that brown organic material, and we can see that when we shine a flashlight. Once or twice a season, use it. At any time, simply add 1 complete bottle to your toilets and drains and allow it to slosh about and work effectively in the tank until your next pump out. So it's easy, you just add it and go. Next up, we're going to try the Aquamax. This is the beneficial probiotic. RV marine holding tanks, 8 ounces for 40 gallons. We have 70 liters, which is about a third of that. Now, the only trick with this stuff is it's blue, as you can see here, and you don't want to get it on really anything. It stains, but we're going to use the whole bottle. Let's see. Now, I've used something like this before, but I didn't think it was a probiotic. I thought it was a chemical. I'm hoping this is different and better. Again, don't get anywhere. A little flushy flush. There we go. That's it. That's all she wrote. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping this works. Although it's a lot better than it was. It ain't fixed yet. Stay tuned. We'll let you know which one works best. Well, it's 8 a.m. and this is our last day in Kingston. So, while we're gonna cram in an 8-hour sail, we're also gonna go to a tour. Kingston Penitentiary Tour. Hey babe? One of the longest tours, or one of the oldest prisons, I think, maybe in Canada. This is where the capital used to be years ago, so no idea what to expect. Haven't researched it, just thought, let's do something touristy before we leave Kingston.
Yeah, I thought it would be kind of cool to go into some place that we hopefully will never ever see normally.
Yeah.
But we'll have the chance to see today, which is kind of cool.
We've been told it's $1 to get in, but it's $100 to get out. Hopefully it doesn't actually cost $100 to get out.
Maybe it's free to get in.
Yeah, maybe it's
Really
free to get in.
fun.
You only have to pay to get back out. Wow, waterfront prison.
The Kingston Penitentiary was constructed in 1833 and opened its doors on June 1, 1835. It was known to house some of the worst criminals of its time, including Clifford Olson, Paul Bernardo, and even Antoine Bouche, who was just 8 years old when sentenced for pickpocket offenses in 1845. The original cells were quite small, measuring only 2.5 feet wide by 8.3 feet long and just 6 feet 7 inches high. As one might imagine, there were a few escape attempts over the years, the most famous by Tyrone Williams, aka Ty Con, a Canadian bank robber. He climbed the wall in May 1999 using a ladder and homemade grappling hook he constructed while in prison. To taunt officials, he left a note on his calendar, "Fishing Trip 99." Only 3 riots took place at Kingston Pen during its operation, but the 4-day riot in 1971 usually gets the most attention for its length and fight for reform. 6 guards were held hostage for the duration, but all were eventually released unharmed. As a result of the riot, security was increased and prison reforms were instituted. Considering the fact the guards inside the prison are not permitted to carry weapons of any kind, it is surprising there weren't any guard-related fatalities. While operational for 178 years, the Kingston Pen eventually closed its doors for good on September 30th, 2013. Okay, well, we just finished the tour. Unfortunately, we weren't allowed to videotape, but it was so cool. I highly recommend it.
That's cool.
I'd say one of my favorite parts was probably all the personal stories. So they bring back retirees to talk about their personal experiences, coworkers' experience. Some of them have even written books that you can buy in the gift shop. So that just really added another element to the tour that you don't normally get.
Quite a bit of history, and amazing the guards aren't armed. And only 3 riots in all of these years, over 100 years. So pretty cool tour. Definitely worth a visit. You gotta book in advance, and it is $35 each, but it's well worth it.
It really is. Yeah, just go online, book your tickets, and definitely go check it out.
Now we are at the Kingston Airport
Yep.
to park the truck for some long-term parking
Yeah.
as we run hopefully to Georgian Bay. We'll see. Got a bit of a run tonight for Anchorage, about 40 nautical miles to get to the Anchorage. And we're ambitious, we're only starting at about noon. Anyways.
Well, we had to see the tour.
Yeah.
We couldn't get in earlier, so.
Over and out.
Ciao. And
We are in reverse.
you guys got me on this end. I'm just gonna watch your side.
Yeah, you want to stay at the bow, babe? Or...
Yeah.
Here we go. You're good. Aim that way. Sweet. Thanks, guys.
With a little help from fellow boaters, we were off the dock and on our way. wasted no time in getting ready to set sail.
Well, we left Kingston about 11:30, 12 o'clock. Yeah, we're a little over halfway. We're just passing Cressy Point, heading to Prince Edward Bay, out on Lake Ontario, and it is an absolutely stellar day, eh?
Yeah, winds out of the southwest, 15, 18 knots. We took a reef when apparent cleared 20, and the boat just kept going, 6, 8, 7 knots. It dropped back down to 13, 14 apparent, so we put everything back out again, and we're hooning along at 6.8 to 7.4. And that's pinching up 30, 32 degrees. Pretty crazy. Here we go. First big sail. 6.4, 6.2. At 30 apparent. So we're pinching pretty good. We're trying to make a marker. So hopefully we don't tack all the way. It is a southwesterly wind, which is pretty predominant here. And we've been lucky. We've been on a port tack so far, about 10 miles. And we're not into Lake Ontario yet. We're still in St. Lawrence. Oh, so far it's handling great. Well, we are making great time. Better time than I thought. I'm just so impressed. We're sailing 6 to 7 knots, 14 apparent, at 30 to 40 degrees, with a reef in the main. It's awesome.
With our first full day of sailing under our belt, we settled in to enjoy a beautiful sunset on our new home. Oh, and if you're wondering where Freeway is, not to worry. He's being spoiled at Grandma's house while we familiarize ourselves with the boat, and he'll be joining us again in the very near future.